Welcome to EntreProgrammers Podcast, the podcast for developreneurs, the podcast where you get to be a fly on the wall listening to real conversations of three developers trying to tackle the challenges they face as entrepreneurs.
But I bought a van with a wheelchair lift so that I can get my dad around. Okay. And so I'm the one that has to drive him. And I was just going to get dressed and then go take him at like 2, right? So that we can all be at the temple. You know, we're all Mormons, so Mormon temple is where we do the wedding. So anyway, but then yesterday he went in for dialysis because, he has that fun experience 3 times a week. And there was a blockage in the fistula, which is the way that they arrange the blood vessels in your arm so that they can do dialysis. And you can't go too many days without them cleaning all the crud out of your bloodstream. So they had to take him in for outpatient surgery today. I already explained this before the show. But anyway, so I don't know when he's getting out. I don't know what the story is as far as if I'm just going to have to like up and go pick him up and help him get dressed and all that stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to have a shower. I'm going to get shaved. See, I'm so pretty. And then I'm going to go in and, that way I'm just ready to go. And I'm letting the View podcast know that I may or may not be there because they run from 12:30 or 12:45 till 2. And if everything had gone to plan, I would have been leaving at 2. So we would have wrapped up, just in time for me to leave here. But anyway, so personal drama. Yeah, my sister's super upset because she doesn't know if he's going to make it. But, I mean, life is insane, and that's just kind of what you get. So, So that's why I'm wearing a shirt and tie, is so that after this I can call up and I can just make sure that I am where I am supposed to be.
I'm feeling very underdressed.
Just put a tie on. Put a tie on with your sweatshirt.
I'm not even wearing pants, so no, I've got pants on. I just don't have any underwear on. So
TMI, John.
Funny. John has to get up and go to the bathroom, so he turns off the camera so he can go.
No, I'm not shy. We'll get our ratings up.
Oh man, you can always count on John to like say something kind of outrageous and then act like he's walking it back and then double down. I always wait for it. There it is.
Yeah, John Sonmez and Kanye West.
That was awesome, though. I did enjoy the Kanye West thing going on. That's fun.
Man, people are insane, freaking insane. I didn't care what he had to say for the last 2 presidents, and it hasn't changed for this one.
But let him do his thing. Like, what the heck? So, heck.
It is fun to watch people's brains explode.
Yeah.
Can you say that? Yeah, sure. Anyway.
So we had, let's see, in the business world, I had Antonio from Real Men, Real Style on, I did a live stream actually yesterday. I started doing the interviews. So that's cool. So
you can give the credit for the live stream to someone.
Yes. Manny said, "Hey, why aren't you doing these as live streams?" So, so it actually turned out pretty good. So now I've had Alph M on there and Antonio, and Antonio, like he over delivered. He like hung out like at an hour. I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna wrap this up, and he was like, I could tell he still wanted to keep going. So he went like an hour and a half answering people's questions and. No, I don't hear anyone screaming.
I took that into the chat to be a little more discreet, but thank you for letting me know.
You're welcome. But no, yeah. So he was cool. He hung out and answered a bunch of people's questions and gave a shout out to Manny. So Manny's actually coaching him. So
cool. Is nice. Was that like a Q&A format? I mean, you were interviewing him, but then were you doing live interactions with the audience as well?
Yeah, it's kind of like, I mean, I really like to do the interviews where they're not really interviews, where it's just me and someone chatting.
Yeah.
I think it works better because it's just like a better and also it puts it where the positioning is a little bit better too, right? If you think about it from an audience building perspective, like you don't want to be interviewing people like below them, you know what I mean? You want to be like at the peer level. And if you're just like, oh, I brought, my good friend on the channel and we're having a chat, I think that's a better like positioning to have.
Yeah.
Plus it's better, like your audience wants to hear from you. So I feel like sometimes when I have it like staged as an interview and then I monologue for a little bit, then I'm like, oh, it's kind of like you're taking over the thing, you're supposed to be interviewing someone. So instead I just try to make it more like, okay, we're having a conversation. And I think that's a lot more fun too. So
Nice.
but yeah, everything is fucking going down though. YouTube views are down, subscribers are down, but I think that's just part of the nature of the thing. It's
Well, you got to find your new voice or new messaging, whatever it is, right?
well, I think it's more of connecting with the audience, like having because I don't think the voice is really, it's not really changing that much on the channel, right? It's just like the audience is changing over, right, to be more mainstream.
Have you seen a lot of unsubscribes, or are you just seeing less subscribes?
Well,
the stats will show you that, like 90-day, 28-day.
Yeah. So let me see here if I look into this.
Are the unsubscribes going high, or just new subscribers are not coming in as fast?
There's definitely some days when the unsubscribes are like pretty high. Like, well, okay, so the channel has always been like high unsubscribe, right? Because
every channel is high unsubscribe. What is your unsubscribe rate?
Well, okay, like
15
last
to 20%?
28 days, right? Subscribers gained 5,547. Subscribers lost 2,774.
So 50% loss.
Yeah, I'm sure that's higher than most channels.
No, yeah.
I get around 20% to 15 to 20%.
Yeah, but see, you don't tell people get the fuck out of here and unsubscribe.
Yeah, but 50% is pretty big.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
What I'm looking at, what I want to compare that is to maybe the same time last year. What was the ratio?
So let's look. I think it's
or
going to be
even like 3 months ago or something.
So if we looked at
I think actually the more important number is the more traditional unsubscribe metric of unsubscribes to total channel subscribers.
Right. Or well, that's
because you're comparing the unsubscribes to the subscribes, which it affects the channel growth. But the thing is, if you have 150,000 subscribers and you're publishing daily, you're just going to get a lot of unsubscribes no matter what.
Oh.
So it's because you've just got more people and you're pinging more people every day. So
it's like the email. Like every time you send an email, you're going to get a certain percentage that you're going to lose.
Right.
That's actually, Josh, that's actually the most decent argument I've heard for me to reducing the video frequency to maybe once a day instead of twice a day. Because that if what you're saying holds true, right? Then if I released half as many videos, but I still did a video every day, it probably wouldn't decrease my subscribe rate very much. Maybe a small amount. Maybe I take a 20% hit, but it would probably decrease the unsubscribe rate by half, right? Because there'd be half as many videos. So that might be an interesting test to run.
As many people off.
Yeah, because you'd be, I mean, every time you publish a video, there's a cost to it. There's a benefit too, which is, your really diehard people are going to be happy.
Yeah.
But then the question becomes, do you really care about those who are unsubscribing? Because there is another video that you have that is something that you want to talk about, but they don't want to listen about.
No, I mean, yeah, I guess it doesn't well, I mean, the whole point is to polarize the audience. Oh, by the way.
In which case it would be better if you continue on doing whatever you're doing, because if they're unsubscribing.
Stats for last year, same time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly 1 year ago. Subscribers gained 8,191. Subscribers lost 1,812.
Okay, which is a huge.
It's a big swing.
Yeah.
It's not that. Yeah, you can say 1,812 to 2,700 is not that big a difference, given that your channel subscriber growth has been that much as well, right? You probably increased by 50% over the last year this time.
Yeah.
Right?
Now, if somebody subscribes, do they get notified every time you release a video?
Only if they turn on the bell notification. And then even then, I'm not 100% sure that it notifies them every single time. It's supposed to.
No, it doesn't, man. It really depends on how often they click on those, because YouTube stops sending notifications if you're not clicking through on them. I've seen that happen with the channels I'm subscribed to, and even though I have the bell icon for them, after a while YouTube stops hassling you if you don't click on those.
Yeah, well, YouTube wants you to, they want you to stick around, and so if the bell's not helping you do that,
it'd be actually awesome is to create is to maybe switch the content up to be like one video per day, and then have like a paid site that's like, I don't know, like $50 a month that has the second video that's like double the content.
You can do the Patreon for that.
Well, I'm not doing the Patreon anymore because that's like it's so easy to just set up a membership site and have just regular.
Well, the membership site should have an objective. You should sell something specific on that.
Well, it would just be extra videos. Just get like a Vimeo subscription of unlimited bandwidth and data, and then just get more videos here.
But if you're selling subscription, if you're selling like whatever $50-$100 a month, you might as well put a freaking framework around it and sell a tangible result rather than just more videos.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I was just thinking like the simplest way to possibly do it.
Even simple, like you can take the parts of it that the audience may not. There's only the audience, some part of it that you can sell, maybe business building advice or habit building advice or self-discipline or willpower or motivation, like specific things that you can sell as tangible results.
I think you should just stop every video after like 3.5 minutes and sell the other 11.5 minutes.
It will kill you.
I know.
The paid 11.5 minutes. Like,
by the way,
all your videos and say video ends at 3:5.
By the way, did you check out Alph M's videos, man? They're incredible, unbelievable fucking shit, man. Every video is a fucking affiliate deal, and it gets 300,000-400,000 views.
Yeah.
Like 10% of the audience is watching it. He's doing 2 to 3 or 4 videos a week. 10% of the audience is watching those damn things. And every one of them is a fucking affiliate deal. It's not even like sponsorship. It's a straight up affiliate deal saying, go there down below, get this coupon, get this offer with the link. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I don't understand how he's doing it so without getting any backlash from the audience or from YouTube, given how much click away he probably has.
Have you watched a lot of his videos?
I've been watching. I've literally gotten hooked. Now I can't seem to understand what the fuck he's doing.
Here's his format. It's basically like this. Okay, all of his video, like this is like kind of the basic, right? It's like 5 ways, 7 things, 10 whatevers, right? That's it. Okay, so that's the title. It's clearly put in the text and in him showing it, right? Some kind of provocative title, but always like a listicle. Okay, and then in the video, it's always like there's a number, way 1, way 2, way 3, and then boom, way 4 or thing 4 is the sponsored thing. But it makes sense. It's not that far of a stretch, right? So it's like it makes sense for the content. He's crafted the content completely around the sponsored video about what he's sponsoring, so that it fits perfectly in there. So you're like, oh, okay, well, obviously this, I'll need this thing, and then he has the rest of it, so it's sandwiched in there, and that's his basic formula, and it works well.
I've seen people try it, man. I've seen a lot of people try that formula. I think Antonio does some of that too. I've seen a lot of other guys do it too. But with this consistency with which he does, like every freaking video is like that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And he still gets such good engagement.
I think also like what I'd be curious to see what I think also because he has so many subscribers and his videos are so boosted up in the YouTube algorithm, I would guess that a lot of his his views also just come from, most of his videos probably go viral. You know what I mean? Like it's not necessarily, it's hard to believe that many subscribers are that engaged. Might be, but probably also just the fact that he's so big makes it so that his videos surface a lot more often.
Yeah. I mean, I would venture that any personality like type brand like you or him are going to have very similar engagement levels. Like there probably are a few people that are really standouts that might have off the charts, but I think it's usually, I mean, I see this with email, like it's usually pretty consistent, like once you get to a certain point. So I think you're right. It's probably mostly organic traffic that he's getting.
I don't understand it, man. It is unbelievable. I haven't seen anyone yet do it.
Well, step one, build a 10 million user YouTube channel. So.
I don't think that's not the step one. Maybe it is, but I don't think that's. He has 3.5 though. But still,
okay, yeah.
Even at 150K, you have a lot of subscribers. It's not like you wait till million before you do that. If the video is viral, who cares how many subscribers you have, according to John's theory?
It's a good, like, he's also positioned himself very well with a very good naming and niche, right? Because so his channel is called Alph M, right? And so if you think about that, right, like it's going to garner, like the name itself is going to garner a lot of guys that are like, oh, I want to know how to be an alpha male, right? Like there's going to be a huge section of that. But that's not really what he talks about. But it doesn't matter because that audience is still going to watch those videos because of the name. Then you've got the other audience, which is just like men style and men grooming and men like, fashion type of thing, which they don't even know what the Alph M means, right? They don't even care because it's just all these things that guys want to know, right? So he pulls from both of those, which I think is what helps as well, which is definitely helped him to grow the channel.
But the number of affiliate deals he does on that shit is unbelievable, man. That's the thing I'm like still scratching my head around with the engagement he has. I mean, all of those things are true, like what we're talking about. But there's something about how big, like, you avoid doing any kinds of like big affiliate deals, or you avoid doing any like major promotions on your channel, and most people avoid more than like once a month or something like that. This freaking guy is doing once a day.
Yeah, but if you get in the habit of doing it, right, that's the thing. Is like we've encountered plenty of people that, I mean, remember Josh at the mastermind, the Perry Marshall mastermind group, that
they were doing a product launch every week.
Yeah, they were product launching to their list every single week, and they were making, their revenue was like
120K.
Oh yeah.
A year?
A month.
And what kind of product launch were they doing?
It was like marketing training. I mean, it was in the like social media marketing and SEO and that kind of stuff.
And they were launching their own products or some other people's products?
Their own products, and they had a pretty small list. I mean, it was like 20 or 30,000.
And what's that guy that you follow? Ben, is it Ben?
Yeah, Ben Settle.
And he sells every single day, right? Like,
yep. Yeah, you kind of condition people. It's part of it can become part of the spiel. And if
it's
people
like AppSumo, okay, I accept that from AppSumo.
Yeah, exactly. And if people like buy a couple of the things and they like them, then I'm getting Skyped. Sorry. Yeah, if people buy a couple of things that you've offered and they like it, then it actually, I have a lot of people. I don't promote a ton of affiliate stuff on my email list, but I do have people that are like, I really appreciate all of the affiliate offers because they're pretty filtered. What I offer is pretty filtered, and they've bought one or two of the things, and they're like, yeah, everything that you promote is really. So they value the affiliate offers actually sometimes as much as the content. So.
And it's good. Like if you look at like Alph M stuff, right? Like he's got like, he does a video on manscaping, and then he's got like the ultimate manscaping, whatever razor. and you're like, oh wow, that's like, I'm glad that he's selling that thing, because my next question would be, you know, which razor am I going to get that's not going to snip my nuts? Like, you know, like, right? You're like, oh, he's already answered that question. Or like, he's, you know, what else was he selling on there? Like, I mean, every single one of the things makes.
I got to look at
sense,
the
right?
keyword volume on that.
Like, I've bought like he had one on like tucking in your shirt and like never having your shirt untucked, and then he had you know, the whole like I bought this race. Yeah, well, there's this one that you can, like, there's ones that you attach to your socks, right? And then there's one that that's almost like just a cinch belt, and you just wear it at your underwear level, and it keeps your shirt down. And so like those things, it's a value add almost, like for a lot of his videos when he does the plug bit, but it's because he's carefully selected both what he's promoting and the content, and it's all, and also like just the match, right? If you're a guy who's into style and fashion, and you know, then all of this stuff is like stuff that you're like, oh, I want to know, I want to buy this stuff, I want the recommendations. So it's not like you're forcing something down someone's throat. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, it is amazing. And why aren't you doing it?
We also don't know what the inside looks like either. So that's one caution I'd throw out. Like, it could be that he's doing these and actually not making very much money from them at all, and his growth trajectory is so great at this point with 3.5 million subscribers that it doesn't matter. Like, he could actually be hurting himself, but he's just got so much momentum that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, it's usually a good metric. Like, a couple of things you can watch in YouTube to see if it's hurting is how many views you're getting within a week or 2 weeks or within a month, and what's the like ratio and what's the comment ratio, right? Like ratio per video.
Yeah.
Even with all those blatant promotions, he's getting 1 to 50, like 2% likes, 1% like, which is pretty big at that volume. At 300K views, 1% to 2% likes is still pretty darn good. Because at that volume, you're getting a lot of very generic audience. But still, it's very difficult to do. Like, it's hard to estimate what kind of numbers he's doing, but just knowing that he has so many views, that means YouTube is not hurting him. YouTube is not taking him down. Not only that, he has so many views and he has so much engagement, as in comments and likes. That means people are cool with it.
Yeah, and again, part of it is because he's established himself in that way, right? And so it's expected, right? People, when you do shit that's unexpected, that's when you know, it becomes a problem, right? You know, if like if you're known for doing this, if this is how you do it, if every video you're selling something, then the people that have subscribed, they know what they're getting into, and they maybe
not every video you're selling something, but once a week. What if you were to sell something? Why don't you sell maybe Gymshark or something?
Well, okay, here's
another difference, okay, in his market. And I haven't seen all his affiliate, what all he's offering, but from what you guys have described,
mostly products, not products. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So what he's doing is sort of similar to, so when you're in the consulting niche, you can give away the how, like the information, all day long, because they still are going to want to hire you to actually do it. Yeah. When you are in information, if you're giving away too much how, people aren't going to buy it. They're much less likely to actually buy from you. So what he's doing is he's giving away the how, and to actually do anything he's talking about, you need the products.
Right.
For a lot of it, right? I mean, you're going to need, like, if he's teaching you about manscaping, like, you're going to need a tool, right? So he's making it easy for you to actually to take the next step, versus, like, you know, pitching somebody's book or pitching a course or something. Like, that's a different well,
that's the same thing as what you're talking about, the other guys who are doing a social media and marketing course that they're selling. So it seems like people are selling. It's not that they can sell whatever they want, is what's happening.
Well, that's in email. Email's different. Like, this is a completely different dynamic.
I mean, we're making exceptions in different places for different channels.
But no, I mean, Josh is right. Like, every time though, he's selling you the tool to do the thing that you need to do, right? That like because you've gotten these 5 tips on, how to best like style your hair. And it's like, hey, I bet you need the styling gel to do that, right? Like a pomade. So he's selling that. So it makes it's more of it's less of an intrusive sale because it's a tool to help you.
Yeah.
Like you're already here wanting this thing, and here's the tool that's going to help you do it. But right. I mean, but regardless,
like if you went into not Macy's, but what's the high Nordstrom's, right? Yeah. So when you go in there, the guy from what I've heard, like they kind of lead you around and they pick out all this stuff for you. That like you're just like okay, I'll take that. But if he was like, hey, I have this $300 course, right, on how to dress yourself, some people would probably bite on that, but it's not going to work the same way.
Well, it could be different. So that's what he does, right? Different offerings on different days. He has his courses too. He sells courses on his website too. He has email list and all that stuff. Same with Antonio. Both of them do that too. But they sell other products, other services as well, just as consistently. Yeah, I'm gonna try and see what Antonio has to say about it.
The problem is too that it's like it's a scaling issue, right? It doesn't make sense at the low volume that we do right now, right? Like when you've got a big channel with 4 million subscribers or 2 million subscribers, you've got that much reach on there, then each one of those videos, like you're going to make a decent amount of money. But like, for example, if I were to emulate that, I would be killing my momentum. Like it would be more hurting my channel than it would be generating the cash, right? So, there's an argument to say that, and I think Josh had mentioned this before, is like, if he didn't do any of this, any affiliate promotion, would he grow his channel faster right now? Probably. Yeah. But it's such a small difference when you're already at 4 million subscribers, because at that point, like you've lost the snowball effect, right? Because when you're at like 100,000 subscribers, you've got a snowball effect going, because the bigger that you grow, the more subscribers that you should be able to garner, the easier it is to gain more subscribers. But when you're at 4 million subscribers, you're running out of depth on YouTube. So you're still, no matter how like efficient you are, how good your videos are, you've already tapped almost all of your potential addressable market on YouTube, right? Because this is men's fashion, right? So I think that's kind of the difference there too, is it's like when you're closer to market saturation, it doesn't really matter. Like he's not really going to stunt his growth, right? Because it's diminishing returns.
Interesting.
It'd be interesting to look back and see what he did when he made this transition.
Yeah.
If he hasn't done it all along, but
yeah, I'm definitely very interested. Though it's very hard for my channel to do something what he's doing. But personality guys, that's why I'm like more on like John, because it's a personality channel. It's very easy to do something like that compared to some of the other stuff.
It's better to grow first, though. I think more so, right? Like what I've been thinking about is like getting to 1 million subscribers. When I get to 1 million subscribers, then what I do with the channel, right? But like I don't want to do anything to hurt the growth. Like I mean, okay, so let's say I could do stuff like you're saying, and I could make like $3,000 a month, or even $5,000 a month, like promoting stuff. That'd be kind of the max, I think. Like. It's not worth it. Like it'd be like to sacrifice the growth of the channel. It's better to get up to like 1 million subscribers and make $50,000 a month, right? Then who cares if you're stunting the growth of the channel a little bit, because you're making $50,000 a month. Grow.
Nice.
So I made it. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just wondering, since I'm just getting into producing videos for YouTube now, I just put up an episode for JavaScript rants, and so I'm going to start recording those probably actually at MicroConf. But
are you going to MicroConf?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Awesome. I'll see you there then.
Yep. And Manny, are you going? I know Josh isn't.
I was planning to, but I got too much shit to do. Some of us are not retired yet.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm producing 2 fucking videos a day. Your job as a YouTuber, and I'm retired and I'm producing 2 videos a day, motherfucker.
But where's the business?
Yeah. Anyway, so what should I be doing?
Where's the
with
affiliate
these-
deals, John?
Yeah, John.
They're coming.
So I guess my question is as I'm getting this ramped up, I'm probably going to be producing a couple of videos a day, or releasing a couple of videos a day. How do I get things to grow? I mean, I'm assuming the podcast kind of worked this way where just producing regular content kind of drove a lot of traffic. You know, it brought a lot of people in. But are there other things I can do to make that pick up more quickly?
Collaborations.
Yeah.
SEO.
On YouTube.
SEO on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Do get a keyword research tool and start and learn how to do that. I mean, like if all of your video titles are keywords that you pull out of Google, that's gonna be that will get you probably traction faster than anything, especially when you're just starting out.
Yep.
Also, thumbnails with girls that like not quite in a bikini, but like kind of like girl next door looking girl with like kind of just a little bit of a low cut, like just where you're like, I kind of want to check out that bit. Like that's like if you look at like people's channels that have gone viral, a lot of times it's like, oh, it all started when he made this one video with this thumbnail of this girl he interviewed on the channel, and it was just baity enough. Like it wasn't like a girl in a bikini washing a car where you're like, oh yeah, that's a clickbait. Like obviously I'm not going to click that. But it was like, just like, okay, this is kind of innocent enough that I could watch this at work. But I'm really curious. So that's the other big
I'll just unbutton my shirt so that it's kind of
there we go.
Yeah, I you know, because you know my man boobs, you know, that'll
right
anyway. But
so they can see like half of your tattoo, you know, there.
Well, that's all good advice, and I really like the keyword idea. That's a process I can put into place.
John loves doing SEO videos.
Yeah. So the cross promotion, is there any other way? I mean, I'm going to be emailing my list, and hopefully I can get a few people to cross over from there. But
well, promote it on your podcast.
Yeah.
Well,
I've been talking about it on the podcast for a couple of weeks.
This podcast is sponsored by my YouTube video.
Yeah, the problem is my sponsorships are filling up.
That's terrible.
No, you can just,
That's awful.
you can just talk about it as in like just sell it on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm planning on doing that, but yeah.
We should do a live stream on my channel too. I should do like an interview chat with you because a lot of my audience obviously will be your audience.
Yeah.
And then, but we can angle it of like the entrepreneurship idea. Like this is what the real life of a media mogul mafia man is like. The Mormon media mogul mafia.
There we go.
So, but no, I think that would actually work pretty well because a lot of people would be interested. Yeah, because they.
Yeah.
I mean, no, who else has a podcast empire, right? So,
well, the other thing is yeah. Then so at MicroConf, you know, I have some time on Wednesday. I probably have some time on Sunday, so I'm going to record some videos then, and I'm hoping I can get maybe a week's worth out for the different channels or playlists or whatever I'm trying to hit. Yeah. And then because they're going to be really short videos. But yeah, then we could pull that off and hey, there's some content already up and people can go get what they want. I'd also like to do some from like Microsoft Build. And so I'm probably going to do the whole, you know, hold your camera up and, you know, hey, this isn't my my normal format, but I'm standing here with John Papa and we're going to talk about whatever. So, yeah.
I'll be back in a minute.
All right. Well, yeah, let's do some kind of collaboration.
Yeah, definitely. Josh, I just
Okay.
completed my longest fast ever.
Oh gosh,
I
how long?
broke it this morning. I started fasting Monday night.
Oh boy, so that's what, like close to 4 days?
It's pretty close. Like it's 3 solid days and then a night. So like close to 3.5 days.
Now, when you
Yikes.
say fast, are you like getting broth or
Nothing, just water.
Just water?
Just water and coffee.
Okay.
So no calories. So yeah, with I had 2 kickboxing sessions and running in there and 1 weightlifting session. So, but I went scale weight on Tuesday. It was 241 pounds. Scale weight this morning was 224 pounds.
Wow.
So almost a 20-pound swing. Like, was that like a 16-pound swing?
Wow.
So pretty crazy.
So do you does that generally happen when you fast and then you put some of it back on when you start eating again?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna lose a lot of water weight, right? Like I was pretty full up on Monday, so that generally happens. But it's funny, the scale, just like the, how we're suspecting that there's some kind of algorithm that's wonky because the scale put me at like a higher body fat percentage this morning at like 13.6%, which is obviously not the case. So I think like based on, it does some kind of, it's not just using the bioimpedance. It's saying, okay, if you lost this much weight in this much time, then you couldn't have lost this much fat. So, right.
Yeah,
it's like,
they're definitely not giving you the raw numbers. They're giving, it's the manipulated version.
Yep. So.
Super, it's annoying. I would much rather have the raw. We're probably in the minority on that.
Right.
But
yeah, I think there's some kind of like smoothing algorithm in there.
Yeah.
So that top 50 coding interview questions blog post seems to be, I don't know if it's like picking up SEO traffic or if it's just like picking up like Facebook and like share traffic, but it's doing well.
Yeah, that was another one. So I've cherry picked now. I think I've got like 5 or 6 blog posts that we've published recently that I've cherry picked from keyword data check, and they've all done pretty well. So I've got Joe Colantone. I can never say his name.
I know, I can never say it either.
Poor Joe.
Colantonio.
Yeah. So Joe's post is doing well. And then we published the best way to learn Java post, and that hit number 3 in Google, like almost as soon as we published it.
Wow.
So that's going to be, hopefully that'll stick. If not, then I'll just have, get links built to it and we'll get it up there. And then actually overall though, our traffic has dropped off because we've lost some of the, we were in the I can't remember what it's called, the featured listing box. On a few, we were like ranked number 3 or 4, but we were in the featured listing box for the coding, like best programming languages to learn type keywords, and that we keep dropping in and out. So I need to get that nailed down to where we're at number 1, and that'll be huge. Like that'll really blow our traffic up. But it'll be like we'll go from like we'll swing like 10 or 20,000 visits a week based on whether we have that or not. And we just seem to drop in and out of it. So I think a little bit of strategic link building to those, which is what I'm going to be having the SEO agency work on, is getting those nailed down. But yeah, so far the coding interview questions one I think is looking good. And we have one coming out about code reviews that I think is pretty good. That one I actually paid for. So it seems like, giving. Oh, and I've got one that I'm really excited about. I asked the writers group if anybody wanted to do a post about JavaScript interview questions. This keyword gets 29,000 searches a month, which would be like that.
What keyword tool are you using to find this?
Ahrefs.com. It's paid. It's $99 a month. Usually the SEO tools are pretty expensive, but yeah, you can get Ahrefs. It would be worth it for a few months, Chuck, to just get the subscription, and you can plug in a site. So like you could pick some website that talks about JavaScript, plug them in. You'll see everything, all the keywords that they're ranking for.
Why don't you share the
interesting.
What was that?
Can you share the subscription and split the cost?
I guess we could do that. I guess. Yeah, I guess we could do that. It would be a little. We just have to work that out. But yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super. It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to do that kind of research. So I'm finding that if I can just. But yeah, anyway, this JavaScript interview questions keyword. It's not very competitive either. So if we publish a post, I think we're going to hit the first page almost instantly, and probably we can get it up to number 1 without too much trouble. But I had a guy, the guy that picked it up is seems to be doing a fantastic job. He's really excited about it, and he was like telling me how saddened he was by how poor the quality of the posts on the front page were. So he's really seems like he's putting a lot of effort into it.
Well, good.
Yeah, and he's gonna have some of his friends, like other JavaScript developers, peer review it and stuff. So. I think what we're going to do is publish it. It was getting kind of long. I was like, well, why don't you just publish what you have, which is like 74 questions, and then we'll do a round 2 and update it and add a bunch more content to it. So that way we'll get it out there. Get the length of time being out there is beneficial. So I'd rather have it today than wait 3 months, and when you can just update it. So. Yeah, so that seems like it's working pretty well, but
that's awesome. I am curious though how you use the tool as well, right?
Yeah, so it was for what you're doing, like it would be really easy. You basically just pick 5 or 10 websites that are related to the niche, and then it has a site explorer, and you put in a URL. You can even put in URLs to specific blog posts, and it will tell you. Like, here's all the keywords that are ranking for, that it's ranking for. Here's all the backlinks to that post. Like, you can really kind of reverse engineer stuff. It's really powerful, and you can pretty well reverse engineer anything.
And then what's the goal? Are you trying to essentially supplant them in Google, or?
Yeah, usually. I mean, usually what you're looking for is like high volume keywords where the competition score is very low, meaning that it's not the number of pages, it's the quality of the pages that are ranking highly and how well optimized they are for a keyword.
Yeah.
So like a lot of like the like for the JavaScript interview questions one, like maybe 3 of the top 10 posts don't even use the words JavaScript interview questions in the headline. It's just like JavaScript, I don't know, popular JavaScript code puzzles or something, and so it's not really optimized, but it's still ranking for that. So if you can find low competition keywords that are high volume, and you've got some clout with your site, then
I should have some clout.
Yeah. So then you can kind of publish and rank pretty quickly, and then with YouTube. There are some SEO tools, but I think that there's some pretty good correlation between what you see in Google overall and what you see on YouTube. So you can use it. I don't think the YouTube tools are as good as the tools that are available for like regular websites.
Google keyword tools are good enough for YouTube, but I mean, for tags and all that stuff, you can also use some tools like TubeBuddy and stuff to explore what kind of tags are available. TubeBuddy Are you using vidIQ, John? What do you use vidIQ for?
Yeah, we've got vidIQ and TubeBuddy.
What do you use vidIQ for?
Gosh, I'd have to ask Rodrigo what he's using it for now. I mean, I was using it before for the stats. Like, I mean, I still use it to look at the stats, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure if we actually need vidIQ anymore. Oh, we're using vidIQ for the advertising too, to put at the title, the like description campaigns. But I think TubeBuddy can do that as well now.
We're not using that anymore. We're using TubeBuddy actually.
Oh, okay. Well, then we're not using.
Yeah.
I couldn't really see why I needed vidIQ for most purposes if I had TubeBuddy working. Do you feel like you need both?
I think TubeBuddy probably does. I'm just looking at vidIQ again to like refresh my memory of it, but I think TubeBuddy is probably a superior tool at this point.
We should do a video creators meetup in San Diego with the TubeBuddy guys again.
Yeah, we should definitely
get them to. I think there's a couple of guys, Avan Hamsat, Pat Flynn, few other guys that we can get to come to that meetup.
And then we can do like collabs between them as well. So
yeah, I think a collab is more than an interview though. Like interview is good, but collab is different. Collab is when their video is on your channel, your video is on their channel, and they're talking about something very specific, because that draws a lot more cross pollination than interview does.
Yeah, I mean it's just hard. Like it's hard to do like effective collabs, right? Like to know what are you gonna, how are you gonna do?
Let's say Antonio Real Man Real Style, if he created a video for you for anything related to style in your world or men's confidence and style, it would probably draw a lot of traffic for him as well.
That's
While
true.
you doing something along those lines for him, about personal confidence or something.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe swapping the videos is a better. I mean,
that's a really straight up collab that doesn't really need that much.
Yeah, I'm doing a video for his channel. He asked me to do a video for his channel, so I've got to actually do that, and I'll see how well that does.
Did you meditate today?
So I have to say, okay. Oh, you missed the part. So I broke my fast this morning. I made it till this morning. So that's the longest fast, 3.5 days, basically a straight fast. Weight went from 241 to 224 in 3.5 days. So I meditated the last 2 days in a row. I missed that one day and the first day, but it's been working good. It's been working good. I was like sharp. I was fresh. I'm already like, even today, I feel much better. It's like I'm clearing out the junk out of my head, the residue.
Yes.
So I haven't meditated yet today because I had a late start, but I am going to do it today for sure because I'm not going to miss it. So.
Yeah, I like it. Try to go to the level 2, so that way you can see if you can hang on to that one without falling asleep or something.
Yeah, I did the level 2 yesterday. I was gonna do the level 3 today. So.
Oh, okay. Well, before you go to level 3, try to do level 2 without the audio.
So level 2 without the audio is just focusing on the breath, right? Just
so whatever I told you, but do it without my guidance now. Try to do it all by yourself without my guidance. See what happens then.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. I can do that for sure. So.
Did you launch your course then, Manny?
No, because freaking John came up with a brilliant idea. Totally everything.
Okay, what was the idea? What did you guys
John said he's gonna experiment with the meditation course to see if it works.
Okay.
And if he likes it, then he might promote it on his channel. But that means there's only so much launch time window of opportunity for him to experiment, right? So now I had to delay it just so that he can freaking experiment. That's why I'm on his case every day. Did you do it? What did you think? Did you like it? Did you not like it? I'm like, I have to hold his feet to the fire here. By the way, the Tim Ferriss interview on Tim Ferriss has been going high on meditation over the last probably year or so. I don't know if you guys have been watching it, but in Tribe of Mentors, he said, when people ask him what's the one thing that most of the people do, what's one commonality, one common habit amongst all the high achievers, he said almost 80% of them do some sort of mindfulness meditation. And then he went on to say the one that he's now practicing are TM and Vipassana. He actually says that. So Vipassana, the one that I teach, is exactly the one that he's been now very high on for the last couple of years. So that's a big one. It's a big
so you need a YouTube video where the thumbnail has him on there, right?
Yeah. Actually,
the meditation technique that Tim Ferriss uses, right? And then that'd be good.
I like it. So exactly, I love it. I like that title too. So I'm actually I just started downloading a bunch of videos. I'm gonna do an Evan Carmichael style video, Evan Carmichael / maybe Charlie, like charisma on command / video, where I'm gonna take snippets from Tim Ferriss's videos where he talks about the different things about meditation and all that stuff, and I'm gonna put it all together for meditation, for forwarding the meditation work. And then at the end, I'll tell them how they can get something for free, like get a guided meditation audio for free. So I'm excited about doing more of the Evan Carmichael style video. It's going to take a lot of effort. I was just looking at the pain that involves with cutting and like
Yeah.
having to say specific things right before they say specific things. And Evan is almost like hands off. He's like, these are my top 10 here, and boom, 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 boom. But I'm almost like I have to build a story while I cut in and go in and out, in and out, in and out. So, it's painful, but it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm trying out the series stuff. We'll see how that works. So far, the business series. I've got a fat loss series. I'm working on the Seneca series. That's going to be a super long series. So,
Nice. Josh, when are you gonna start meditating?
I've tried it off and on a few times, and
Sounds like someone is ready for meditation.
yeah, I don't know. I have tried it off and on, and I'm not really sold. I'll probably give it a shot again.
Remember, 80% of high achievers are meditating.
80% of the people that Tim Ferriss chooses to interview.
He actually says that it might be a selection bias, but then there's billionaire founders, billionaire hedge fund investors, or hedge fund owners, and the biggest actors in Hollywood and celebrities and all those kinds of names are there in his repertoire, in his list of people he interviews. So it's not like he's staying away from any specific kind of people. Even freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger did meditation for a while.
yeah, he was a big TM guy for a while. Yeah. But I wonder if you should just launch it though, because I mean, obviously I'm still doing the meditation and I'll do the affiliate deal, but I don't know, like how long will it take me to get the results where I can speak about it enough that you see what I'm saying? It's like, you might want to just launch it ahead of time, and then there's no reason why I can't do affiliate promotion afterwards. I just don't want to hold you back.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and do my early bird next week.
Yeah.
And then we keep it open for the week after for regular price. And during that, maybe I can offer you some sort of a discount coupon or something for your affiliate deal. So at least it gives you 2 weeks, if not more, to test it out.
Yeah.
But it may just be that you may not sell as much during the live, but when we do a recording, it might be better.
Yeah. But yeah, so far, I mean, I don't have a lot of like depth to the, but so far this week has been a very improved week for me, like as far as like all around. So, and I could attribute it to fasting possibly, but I think I'd attribute more the ability to stick with the fast to the meditation, right? To keeping the focus, right? Because, yeah. So
I like it. Yeah, that's good. I like it. I'm gonna use this video, snippets of this video in my look at what John Sonmez is up to these days.
There you go.
You should switch the bait on it. You should have like how meditation can make you more money. How meditation can make you a better entrepreneur. How meditation can get you more girls. How meditation can whatever, and just keep on plugging in. How can meditation can make you have more discipline, and that'd be good. Because then you're like look for everything that people are searching for, right?
Yeah, well, they're not. I mean, nobody's searching for how meditation can make me more money, but
No.
subconsciously they're hoping that is the end result.
How you can make more money through meditation. How you can get more chicks through meditation. How you can have more discipline through meditation.
Well, that's the thing. Like, nobody's searching for it, but if it's on a YouTube thumbnail, it probably gets a lot of clicks.
Well, but people are searching for how to have more discipline. They're searching for how to get more money, how to have more girls, how to have,
self-discipline is one of the most researched, like one of the biggest keywords in the self-development space, along with self-confidence.
So you just put the through meditation at the back end of it, and then you see what I'm saying? It's like it's a very wide road. Like that's a result. Like you got all these different results.
But the truth is, all those things are kind of related because of the way meditation works on your brain. It's like all of self-development comes down to how to operate your brain properly,
Right.
right? You can have all the fucking knowledge, but if you cannot operate the brain properly, it's all useless. And meditation literally teaches you how to operate your brain properly. So whatever you're saying is right. It just people cannot make 2 and 2 together like that.
Yeah.
But it is true. Like it literally is the operating manual for your brain in a very abstract kind of way. So Josh, now that we know the culprit is John for why
Sales.
Simple Programmer has been struggling over the last 2 months.
He hasn't been meditating
Are
enough.
you sleeping? Are you sleeping better?
So I did an interesting experiment today, and so this week, basically on Monday, I decided to just get moving on starting to do some like career coaching. So I sent an email to 800 people. So I had done this survey a couple weeks ago where I just sent people to a Google Doc form and asked them a couple questions. So I sent an email to the 800 people who opened and clicked on that survey. And I just said, it was like a 100-word email. It was like, it was from John. It was like, hey, I get way more questions for coaching help than I can handle. I'm thinking about offering this service. And if you're interested, hit reply and I'll connect you with somebody on my team and, we'll talk about this. And I got like a 4% reply rate to that email. And so I got like 40 replies. And then I've gotten 6 people signed up for a $250 one-time, basically just like a one-time consultation. So, and the idea here is I want to do 10 to 20 like one-offs where I'm looking at, I send them this huge long form. I say it's like 5 pages of like, fill out all these questions. Tell me everything you've done. Tell me all your problems. And by the way, they're paying me for this. Tell me, it's like really deep market research. Like, tell me all your problems, and then I'll do a video, and I'll walk through for an hour and just tell you what I think you should do in your situation. So it's really clean, and then if I want to, I might be able to take some of these people into some kind of monthly if I wanted to.
Why don't you introduce yourself to the list?
Oh, that's where we're going with all this.
Yeah. So, but this is such a small part of it.
No, hey, just hang on. Let me finish the story. Yeah, we're going. So anyway, so I did this week. I've got 6 people signed up. I'm actually talking to Jason Humphrey, about which we'll have to talk later off the air about. I basically want to bring him in to help me develop the curriculum for this.
Okay, yeah.
So I need to figure out how to compensate him for that. But he and I seem to have very similar approaches to what we would advise people to do. So I went through and I did. I've done one of these already. I did it yesterday, and I think it went really, really well. I felt like I was able to give the guy very clear direction. He's trapped in that I have to. I just need to learn more. And he actually paid. He told me he paid for from the Cracking the Coding interview. He paid for one of the service providers like a consult with this guy, and the guy told him he needs to learn C++.
Oh gosh.
And he's got all this coding. He's been through boot camp. He went through Coding Dojo boot camp. So he's not like complete novice. He just needs to get out there and get a job so that he can actually learn something. Anyway, so I did this, and so I'm thinking, okay, I think that where we're gonna take this is that in the next 3 months or so, I'm probably gonna do a beta launch where we do a smaller, medium-sized class, like a group coaching type of thing, to start to develop. So we're going to do these individual consults for a while. Then I'm going to take the system that I developed from doing that and teach that to a group, and then iterate through that maybe once or twice, and then do a bigger launch where we've got the multi-tiered thing. But after doing these consults, I was like, you know what? I'm starting to feel like if I'm going to be doing this, I just need to be a known quantity. I need to be out there. I'm actually thinking I might start sending daily emails again just to get myself out there with the list. But because I like doing this one consult, I came up with like 10 email ideas.
Yeah.
And it was fun. Like I'm having fun again. This is what it's actually, this is this is fun and exciting. And I'm like, it's, my brain's going, and it's really just marketing applied in a slightly different way. Yeah. So
You'll
anyway,
be sending those emails under your name?
I think so. So today I split tested the weekly broadcast. I split it up 50-50. So I sent half under John at Simple Programmer and half under Josh at Simple Programmer. And so far, the ones under my name are actually getting higher open rate, which I think is, people are just like going, who's this guy? But also, I'm wondering if maybe the John at Simple Programmer email has gotten tagged.
That's just interesting theory.
Yeah. So the open rate for mine is 11%. The open rate for John's is 7.9%.
Oh wow!
How many hours has it been?
Just like 3 hours. It went out at 10 o'clock. So I mean, that's like almost a 25% difference. So I think if that held up, it might, part of our issue might be that the email address that has just gotten dragged down. So I was actually thinking I might create
does it say John Sonmez or does it say Josh Elledge in the name?
It says Josh Earl. It says from John Sonmez parentheses Simple Programmer, and then I sent mine as Josh Earl parentheses Simple Programmer, and then the email is John at or Josh at, and So I mean, so it's clearly like it's a different.
It's the same exact email.
Yeah, same email, same subject line. Everything else was the same.
Because it's a newsletter. Because it's not personalized.
Right? Yeah. Well, it is signed. I actually updated it. There were a couple places where I put my name at the bottom, and then I rewrote one or two of the blurbs that were referencing John's videos, so they were in third person instead of first. But yeah, I think that what I might do is just make the switch next week to where these are always going to go out under my name.
Yeah.
And then that's like that would be like just a baseline. And then as I get into these consoles, just start doing, regular.
Hey, I got Josh Earl. I got the Josh Earl email.
You go. Open and click on it. Try my radar.
By the way, it's funny you're doing
by 1%.
I've got a video coming out so we don't cross wires.
Okay.
For the first time advertising my coaching services, because I had a couple of clients that like Jason that basically like either like graduated or like cut down to like lower. So I've got a couple of slots open. So I basically, it's like, okay, well, if I send out a video, I should be able to fill I've basically got 2 slots. So I'll be able to fill those 2 slots. So they'll probably be emailing John at Simple Programmer. But it should be clear that they're looking for the big level coach. I mean, I could also just like tell Rodrigo to just not link to that page, but link to a form and have them fill out a form. I don't know. What do you think?
Either that, or it might be time to just set up John at johnsonmez.com or something.
Yeah, that's true. I should probably do that. Okay.
But yeah, either way, I mean, that's cool. Not a problem.
Yeah, you need to kill John.
So if you see some of those, you might want to query them, like if they're, or well, I mean, they'll be expecting like coaching from me. So so I think it should be clear in their email. But I'll try and like maybe send them to a form for now, because I already recorded the video. I didn't put any email address in there. So
okay. Yep. Yeah. So I'm thinking that
I mean, if you did, are you like you have a timeline by which you'll be 100% Josh?
I mean, I think no, I don't have a timeline in mind. I mean, I think I'm just going to gradually ramp up. I think what I was thinking, I might also do like like an email series where I write the first email as John, or even write several of the first emails as John, and like, hey, Josh is doing this coaching thing, and he's, here's something from him about that, and it would be like me telling. So he basically like a one or two sentence intro from John to kind of, and then just introduce me as kind of like the guy who's doing the coaching type of thing. Yeah. And then like I could do that a couple of times, and then I could just basically just start sending the emails out myself.
Beyond just the guy who's doing coaching, it's more like the guy who runs. My marketing
Yeah,
like
I don't.
right
I
hand
don't.
man, or like
I kind of.
at least,
I'm
or
actually.
who's running
Yeah.
the show? Like, why not kind of become much more mainstream and like give you a lot more credibility?
Well,
You're
the question is.
Kill John.
Yeah. The question is how. So do I want to build? Do I want to? I don't necessarily. As much as possible, I'd like to avoid creating a second personality business.
Yeah.
Right. So I'd almost prefer to be like like I think I mentioned last week. I want to hire myself as a coach.
Right.
So basically, like I'm the head of career coaching or something for a while, and then if I do that, then then I can kind of ease the transition from John. It's like we're not kicking him out completely. I'm not like kicking him off the throne and like like I'm coming in. I'm gonna sort of take over, but it's more like he's hired me a little bit, and then if I do it that way, then I can bring in other coaches, and I'm not so much of I'm not like.
Can you
main
have
public figure.
titles? Can you have titles in your names?
I could have a title under my name when I
John
send
could
emails.
be the founder. You could be the head of marketing or head of career coaching or something like that, and then you can bring in another name who is head of something else, and they can also send emails, which would be an alter ego of John again. So then John is dead for real.
Yeah. I like to be the chief visionary.
Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. But I really feel like so far the response to to this particular offer, I mean, like I could send emails trying to sell, I could send multiple emails a week trying to sell a freaking $10 book and not make any appreciable dent in the sales. And then I send one email and I have there were probably 20 people that if I pushed, I could have probably converted 20 people to this $250 offer. And I literally I didn't want to take in too many. I wanted 2 at first.
Yeah.
And then I got a good enough response. I was like, okay, I'll take more. But yeah, it seems like people are pretty desperate and hungry for this. And I think we can get it. Like, I think if we do a significant sample of one-on-one work with people, we can get it down to where we have like 2 to 5 playbooks at most. Maybe even it's just one playbook where we can go, if you do these things, here's like the next 90 days, you do this on day 1, you do this on day 2, and you just run this playbook. And if I do this with 20 people and 3 of them end up getting jobs, now I've got some testimonials. And it's gonna snowball. But I want to try to keep it as like initially I'm trying to keep as close contact with the people that I'm working with as possible. So like the next step would probably be group coaching, and then
given the size of your community and it's all programmers, I'm sure there are people who are like highly accomplished in different fields of their endeavors.
Yep.
And you can literally ask like the list for like, hey, do you want to be a coach for simple programmer?
Well, that's where yes, that's where I'm going. So Jason, I think what I will be working with Jason on. So Jason's he's like one of the top coaches for Thinkful. And so he's seen like how to set up a boot camp, which is what I want to do.
Right.
So he's like he's got kind of like the background doing this, and he's got a pretty good track record with it. And so I'm thinking I would like to work with him initially, just me and him probably doing most of the coaching and the content. And then once we get it down to a system, then we can bring in other people, and just hand them the playbook and say like, here, just help. And you can pay them like $20-25 an hour to do that.
Yeah.
And, and then it's like, so we're building it's not a passive income business, but it's a business that I can step away from that will run itself.
It becomes it's a services arm of Simple Programmer.
Exactly. Yep.
From there, then you're within stone's throw away from the consulting arm, right?
Yep.
Like,
well,
so I like this. This is good, and it is automatable to a degree that you're hiring other people.
You just have to. You're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to hire good people, but yeah, it is. I mean, it is, and like the thing is, you're a feeder. Like all these boot camps, like this guy I was working with this week, he went to one of the boot camps that we've promoted in the past, and he's like, he went through it and he graduated, And now he's kind of bitter because he spent 2 months looking for a job and didn't get any, got like 2 interviews and no, and that's it. And like, he's like thinking he needs to go back to, go back and learn something else. And so these boot camps are churning out these people and they need a next step. And there is no next step really. Right. I mean, a few of the boot camps have figured out how to actually work with people beyond graduation and get them jobs. But, a lot of them, it's just kind of like you graduate and now you have a certificate. Yay.
Right. Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. And so I've had a couple calls with Jason and he seems pretty interested and pretty fired up about it too. So anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything else is crashing and burning. So I gotta get moving.
They'll seem to pick up a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. It's definitely better than it was, but it's not. We'll see if it bounces back. If not, then this will be something I think that I could see this becoming like multiple 6-figure launches per year. If we did like a cohort model, I could see this easily being like a 6 figures plus kind of thing.
What do you mean?
Rather. I mean, just like this, if we can get this program put together, like a 90-day
program.
Yeah, 90-day, like a boot camp essentially is what I want. Like a 90-day program you go through. It's very scripted out. You get help along the way, handheld along the way. I think we could kill it with that. It would be. We could launch it 4 times a year.
If other people are able to make money off of the boot camps you're selling, why not you?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a boot camp. It's a different thing.
It's a career boot camp. Yeah, it's a career boot camp.
It's graduate boot camp. It's
right. Well, the SEALs have like buds, and then they've got another boot camp that they do, like a second kind of like.
This is brilliant.
Well,
I get it now. This is brilliant, man. This is brilliant. Right? It's like it's a higher level education. Like you finish the boot camp and then you go here.
You take another boot camp.
Damn. Yeah.
But
this one is focused on the actual career because the boot camp you take is to learn how to code, right? I mean, maybe they have a little bit of career development stuff. And then this boot camp is the one that teaches you to get the job and to work in the environment, like the soft skills side of it, right? That is what you need the next step. And that's,
have you guys considered creating a job board?
We tested that. It was. I mean, that is for that to work. I think it would be a major effort. It's like the sponsorship thing. Like it could work, but it would be a lot of work to make it worthwhile.
Isn't it? What's his name? The guy, the AI guy. That's what he's doing. John. What's his name? Satya's competitor guy.
Shit. What's his name? Adrian.
Yeah.
Adrian.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that what he's doing? He's a job board now, big time.
I don't know if he has it. Does he have a job board now? I mean, his main thing is his products that he's launching. The high image.
What Satya is saying is his job board is a big thing now.
Yeah, I mean that would make sense for sure, but.
So, yeah, I think we probably need to.
Yeah, wrap it up.
So Chuck can get moving here. He's got his. Somebody's burning hamburgers. He's got to go.
Yeah, I've got a universal power supply plugged in here, and we've had power issues in our house for the last month, and I don't know what the deal is. And so it clicks on and off every so often.
All right, thoughts? Who's got thoughts? I've got a thought. So, in 41 minutes, I'm going to be on Jay Abraham's podcast, which will be
what?
Cool.
Whoa, nice.
Yeah. I was supposed to be on earlier in the week, but he canceled on me at the last minute. They had to reschedule. But so I'm kind of nervous about that. But I've been binge listening to his podcasts leading up to this, and one of
take a shot, 2 shots
of water.
So he. But anyway, so one of the things he was talking about in one of the hot seats that I was listening to was the well-known phrase, motion beats meditation. Sorry, Manny.
Oh, no.
But no, that really just hit me this week because I'm like, I've been stuck in analysis paralysis really for for the last few weeks, and just I've been very discouraged about the product sales, you know, and kind of dropping off. And I kind of need to, like, I decided this week, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to leave them for dead. If they come back, fantastic. But I'm going to assume they're not going to, and I just need to get moving on to the next thing. And I like this on Monday, I was like, okay, screw it. I'm just going to do like this stupid little 100-word email and just get moving on this thing and you know, and see where it goes. And I had a fantastic week. I'm really pumped about this. And, you know, just, it's really easy to get stuck in trying to do the right thing. And when you're in that mode, like just doing something is often better than trying to optimize.
What are you going to talk about?
I honestly don't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's going to be email copywriting kind of stuff, but they haven't given me I'm a little nervous about it, but he's actually a really good interviewer, and he's like kind of a little bit of a grandfatherly figure. So
does he know you?
I got introduced through Perry Marshall. So, yes, he recommended me. And, so yeah, I'm not even sure what this podcast, he does series on his podcast. So it's like, he did a series with Tony Robbins, and he did a whole series with Dave Asprey from the Bulletproof Executive. And so he's apparently doing some kind of series this is a part of, but I don't even know what it is. So
the Josh Earl series.
Yeah,
that's
apparently.
right.
Oh, cool. That's pretty awesome.
Huge name Josh series. Awesome.
Okay, I've got a thought. So mine for this week is basically like, does the action that you're about to do move you toward your goal or away from your goal? Seems really simple, but the value of applying this thought before you do anything is that it takes away your rationalization, because your brain is really good at rationalizing things, right? And so if you have to make that decision and say, does this move me towards my goal or away from my goal, then you take away the ability to rationalize, right? Because, and then part of this also is just making sure that you know what your goal is, that it's a unidirectional goal, right? So, you know, the application of that for me this week was, say on Wednesday, right after I had done the lifting, I was doing the fasting. I'd fasted all day Tuesday, and on Wednesday I'm like, oh, should I break the fast or not? And so then I was thinking, okay, well, you know, what is my goal right now? Well, my goal isn't really like to gain muscle or even to preserve muscle right now. So I can't really say, oh, I should eat because you know, muscle gains. My goal is to lose fat. Like that's what my current goal is. So I said, okay, well, that's, you know, does eating right now move me towards my goal or away from my goal? It moves me away from my goal. So it made it so that I could no longer rationalize. I couldn't say, well, I just lifted, so I should eat, right? I need to get some protein. Instead, I kept the fast going because that was what my target was and what my goal was. And that kind of helped me to get through it. So just like having that thought in mind, just asking yourself the question, like having a clearly defined goal of where you're going, right? You know, so a bad goal would be something like, I want to get fit. Well, what does that mean? Like, I mean, you're trying to gain muscle, trying to lose fat, which is your primary objective, so that you can go unidirectional. And then just asking yourself that question, right? Because otherwise you rationalize. Otherwise you're like, you know, I'm doing this. Like you fill in the reason why you're doing it after you do the action, you know, that backwards rationalization, as opposed to where if you've got the goal. So then at that point, like the funny or the interesting thing about that is now if I've gone through that thought process and I said, okay, continuing this fast moves me towards my goal, eating right now doesn't, then if I choose to eat, then I have to basically like, I have to now have a battle with my ego. Like my ego is not going to say, oh, you have no discipline and willpower and you're just a fuck up giving into like, you know, short-term desire, right? I will not allow myself to believe that about myself. So my ego has to say, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to just do your thing, dude. Like I'm not going to try and rationalize because there's no point, because I'm not going to succeed that point. And so I think that's a way to like almost like use your ego to actually help you to have discipline, whereas usually your ego is the rationalizing part that breaks down your willpower and discipline.
Mm-hmm.
So. All right. I'm going to make this quick and then I'll call my sister back because my phone's ringing. So I've been kind of going through a couple of things here. I think the main thing that I've been looking at though is I went through some organizational training with my business coach. He just has a series of steps you go through for his coaching, and then a weekly call for you to ask questions and things like that. And anyway, so the thing that I went through was basically just working out the organization for my business. And what he has you do is he has you fill in this spreadsheet with all of the different jobs that have to be done to run your business. And then he basically makes you group them into like 3 main functions in the business. And so the ones that I came out with, I kind of split operations and production just because they're kind of related and they're kind of not related, because production includes like podcast production and stuff like that. And it's just a little different from all the other operational stuff that goes on in the business. And then I had administration, and then the last one was sales and marketing. And I looked at it, and then he asks you the question, and he basically says, which of these is, rank them in which of these are the best put together, I guess, or the best organized in the current state. And so I did that. And then the next question is which one of these is the most like this, where you put in a small amount of effort and you get a big amount of payoff. And, and then, you rank them that way. And the last one, should be something that probably you could put a ton of effort in and get a little bit of payoff. And I realized that, the top thing for me right now in the business is still the sales and marketing. It's still the sponsorship stuff. And I had started to get sidetracked by the other stuff. Yeah. And so it made me go back and say, okay, I'm delegating all this stuff again, right? And then focus in on the sponsorships. And I have to say that just being able to do that and just having that periodic reminder, nope, I got to focus on this. Nope, I still got to focus on this. This has got to be my main deal, has just been a huge, huge thing. And what's funny is that I probably have more sponsorship spots filled than I ever have. And partially it's because I have the spots to fill because I've started new shows. And partially it's just because I'm sticking to it. And I'm like, okay, I've got to focus on sponsorships. Yeah. And so just getting the systems in place, making sure everything clicks along, and then making sure that I'm reaching out and following up. And, my goal is to reach 20 companies every week. And until I get them filled, that's what I'm doing. And it's just having that, okay, you got to go back and focus. You got to go back and focus. You got to go back and focus. And just getting that one thing, having that one thing in mind. So, go and look. I mean, the other stuff's important, right? I can't just let production drop. I can't let administrative stuff drop. But, the incremental gains that I get when I solve those problems, it gets stuff out of the way. But, the sponsorship and sales is the main area where I can honestly save myself the most effort and get the biggest payoffs.
Yeah, that's your $1,000 hour work right there.
Yeah. And I mean, the production stuff's probably $300 an hour work, but if I'm spending time working on the production, I'm stepping over dollars to pick up dimes.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. I like it. So
wait a minute. I know Manny's. Manny's is going to be meditation over movement.
I have 2 separate thoughts. One is there are so many like cliches in this world out there. Like just because people say something doesn't mean it's true. But I'll let you guys decide which specific thing I'm talking about from today's conversation. But there was something about that.
Can I just play that back for like half the people I talk to in life?
The second thing is the idea of structure leads to freedom. We've talked about quite a bit, especially when John was thinking of killing himself. Structure leads to freedom is like nowadays it's becoming somehow it's kind of getting into the mainstream now with Jocko's book, like Discipline Equals to Freedom and all that stuff. But still like very hard to conceptualize for most people, hard to like put it into practice in day-to-day terms. Like what the fuck how do I do it? And one thing I'm finding now is like I started living my life in Pomodoro. And what that means is I literally just like all my work is Pomodoro, but even outside the work, it's another Pomodoro. So let's say I'm done with like 5 Pomodoros and I just want to chill out. I'll start another one for 25 minutes. I can just do whatever the fuck I want, but it's still within that time constraint. So it doesn't feel like it just bleeds into my whole day or into my whole life. I have the liberty, that freedom to do whatever I want within the structure of that Pomodoro. Or if I'm cleaning my house, it's a 25-minute Pomodoro. So life is a series of Pomodoros rather than life is a series of vague timelines with no boundaries. Because without boundaries, it becomes very, like, the mind becomes a mush.
Yep.
I was doing the exact same thing for a long time. In fact, Josh convinced me to do that way back when I didn't see the value of the Pomodoro. But yeah, because then you can compartmentalize and you can stack them too, and you can plan your day based on that because you know how much.
Yeah, and not only that, like I started to do Pomodoro, and I started to realize the Airbnb business has taken over my life in many ways. It's taken over 6 hours of my life in the last 3 days, and I'm like, I can't believe it's taking that much time, but it does take that much time. So
yeah, well, hopefully once we get it cranking, then
yeah,
you got to sign
but
that
it kind of
thing.
like the Pomodoro gives you clarity on where you're spending
spending
time, where you're not spending time.
Yep.
And you keep on doing it consistently. Now you get to see the reality of your life rather than vague generality. Oh yeah, I've been working hard. Like, fuck, you haven't been working hard, bitch.
Yeah.
You know?
Or you've been working hard, but you're climbing the wrong wall.
It's true. Most people, it's the other way. Like, that's lesser of a problem, because if you're working hard, you probably find a way pretty quickly to the right wall. But most people are just making up the idea that they're working hard.
Yeah.
While they're not really hustling towards the goal. Because if you have a goal, you find a way to climb the right wall.
Yeah, there's a great app called Toggle, TOGGL.com.
Yeah.
And I tell people to use that all the time. It's like, yeah, then you can figure out what where your time went and what you can cut.
Yeah. Eternity is another one that's really amazing. It actually breaks down by splits. It's amazing.
Yep.
And for the record, I am not opposed to meditation.
I never said that was the one thing.
I know it. I'm sure it wasn't. No, and everybody should buy Manny's course. So
yeah. Josh, I will make you a meditator. Don't worry. It's just a matter of grinding it out.
Yeah.
Cool.
Once John sells the course, you'll be the first to buy.
I've got to jump off, but I will see
So
you
John
all
gets the affiliate
next week.
deal.
All right.
All
See
right.
you, Chuck.
And
See you
John,
guys.
I'll see you at MicroConf.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. See you
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Bye.
Josh, you're not going to MicroConf?
Oh,
Well,
he's gone. All right.
He's gone.
We'll
All
end
right,
the-
buddy.
Wanna start a business, but you just know how to code. Listen to